grand staircase. Inside, the floors and baseboards were made with marble from Alabama and Vermont.
Unfortunately, due to funding problems arising from World War I, the original dome design was too expensive to build. With the building unfinished, Governor Robert Williams moved in. For nearly 85 years, state officials and the public clamored for completion of the dome. The Capitol received the nickname Old Baldy for the temporary cap that was placed in the spot where the dome was originally designed. Some of the ideas for the new dome included creating additional office space, building a fiberglass dome, and even a rotating restaurant. Finally, in 2001, construction for the long-awaited dome began. The funds for the dome were donated from many private sources. These funds made it possible to complete the 155-foot dome in time for Statehood Day on November 16, 2002. The dome weighs approximately 5 million pounds. At the top of the dome stands a 17-foot statue of a Native American called the Guardian, created by Oklahoma artist and state legislator Enoch Kelly Haney. Perhaps the spirit of Oklahoma is symbolized by this tribute to the first Oklahomans, or even by the persistence of those state leaders who believed the job was not finished until the dome was completed. The dome has created a new sense of pride in our state capital, and this pride is a signal of many great things that will happen in our state over the next century.
Well, let's continue our search to discovering the true spirit of Oklahoma as we enter the state capitol. Here we are inside the state capitol. Our first possible clue to discovering the true spirit of Oklahoma may be found in our state seal. The state seal is a symbol of our great state and is used to stamp official documents approved into law. Perhaps somewhere in its design can be a clue to the spirit of Oklahoma. It is a prominent symbol of our state and can be found on the first floor situated so that it can be clearly seen from each floor. The Great Seal of the state of Oklahoma is a tribute to the state's Native American heritage. The central design consists of one large star representing the state of Oklahoma, surrounded by 45 small stars representing each of the other states at the time of statehood. The large star that symbolizes Oklahoma features 5 radiating arms, one for each of the 5 civilized Indian nations. The top ray is for the Chickasaw Nation and holds a warrior with a bow and a shield. The upper right ray represents the Choctaw Nation with a bow, 3 arrows, and a tomahawk. The lower right ray honors the Seminole Nation with the hunter and a canoe. The lower left ray is for the Creek Nation and holds a sheaf of wheat and a plow. The upper left ray is the seal of the Cherokee Nation with a 7-pointed star and a wreath of oak leaves. The center of the main star shows an Indian shaking hands with a white man, symbolizing the merging of 2 cultures. Olive branches encircle this image, representing the hope for peace. The state motto, Labor Omnia Vincit, or Labor Conquers All, is displayed on the seal, and the entire seal is ringed with the words, Great Seal of the State of Oklahoma. It is clear that our Native American heritage plays an important part in the true spirit of Oklahoma. Let's keep this in mind as we continue exploring more of this incredible building. Here I am standing next to the original Oklahoma State Constitution, the longest handwritten constitution in the United States. This constitution isn't just a document containing the laws we all abide by. It could also contain clues to the true spirit of Oklahoma. Our state constitution was created in Guthrie, Oklahoma, which was later to become our first state capital. The Constitution was written at the Constitutional Convention, later referred to as the Con-Con, because the full name was a mouthful. The white men in the Oklahoma Territory borrowed the convention from the Indians and their white representatives from the Sequoyah Convention held in 1905. William H. Murray, affectionately known as Alfalfa Bill, was a member of the Sequoyah Constitutional Convention in which the Indian Territory attempted to become a separate state from the Oklahoma Territory. The Indians had become promised that if they left their homes and went to what was referred to as the Indian Territory, that others would never govern them without their consent. During this time, it looked as if Oklahoma would become 2 separate states, one for the white men and one for the Indians. Indian Territory was on the eastern side of the state, and Oklahoma Territory was on the west. Within a year, Congress passed the Oklahoma Enabling Act, which determined that both territories would become one state. William H. Murray served as president of the Oklahoma State Constitutional Convention in 1906, which was dominated by Democratic white males. Women, Native Americans, and African Americans did not participate in the CONCON. Perhaps our Constitution is a symbol of the spirit of Oklahoma, since it united all territories of Oklahoma as one. Well, Jeb, as you can see, there are many possible answers to exactly just who or what is the true spirit of Oklahoma.
Jeb, what an amazing place. I lived here all my life and I didn't know any of this. Is there more for us to explore, or have we found the true spirit of Oklahoma?
Oh no, Jeb, we've just discovered some of the first few clues to the puzzle, and I believe there are many more yet to be discovered. Let's get back to the Capitol and see what else we can find about the true spirit of Oklahoma. Another clue to finding out the true spirit of Oklahoma may be found within the artwork throughout the Capitol. Art is a primary way for people to express themselves, as well as in history. The walls of the Capitol are decorated with many artwork and murals, which articulates the uniqueness of Oklahoma and possibly the spirit of Oklahoma. Wilson Hurley, a Tulsa-born Oklahoman, has created several magnificent landscape pieces inspired by our state's natural beauty. Some of these paintings include Spring Morning Along the Muddy Boggy, inspired from Hurley's visits to his grandmother's grave in the Lehigh Cemetery. He stated, "One burst of light washed over a field of yellow flowers like an all-forgiving and comforting blessing, an affirmation of how beautiful Oklahoma is." Other Hurley paintings made him think, this country is just asked to be painted.
Jeb, these paintings capture the natural and wild spirit of Oklahoma.
Some of the most well-known and popular artwork in the Capitol is the Wilson murals. The historic murals were commissioned by the state legislature in 1970. The artist, Charles Banks Wilson, has since been named as an Oklahoma cultural treasure. These 4 murals depict the history of Oklahoma from 1541 to 1900. The first mural, Discovery and Exploration, is a tribute to the Spanish explorer Coronado crossing the Oklahoma Panhandle in search of gold and spreading Christianity. Frontier Trade depicts the opening of the fur trade in the Three Forks region of northeast Oklahoma. It shows the importance of the forts that were built to protect the newly relocated tribes from those tribes who were already living there. In Indian Immigration, scenes describe the relocation of many Native American tribes, including the first Trail of Tears of the Cherokee, Seminoles, Chickasaws, and Creeks, as well as the second Trail of Tears of the Plains Indians to the Indian Territory after the Civil War. Finally, non-Indian settlement depicts the land runs and lotteries that open unassigned lands to settlers from all over the country. Most people are not aware that there are actually 5 land runs that open Indian territory to others. This mural also shows scenes of the boomers, people who attempted to settle in Indian territory before it was officially opened.
As you can see, our state's history is captured in these murals, and throughout all of them there is a sense of adventure, hardship, and progress. These traits are surely part of the true spirit of Oklahoma. However, there are many more incredible examples of artwork housed here in the Capitol. Let's go and explore some more. In addition to the inspiring artwork that crowns our state capitol, there are others that may hold secrets to understanding the true spirit of Oklahoma. Located on the south side of the state capitol is a sculpture called As Long as the Water Flows. It is a sculpture of a traditionally dressed Native American woman carrying an eagle-feathered fan. The eagle-feathered fan is considered a sacred symbol to many Native Americans. The artist who created this piece is Allen Hauser. The name of the sculpture refers to President Andrew Jackson's promise to the Native Americans who were moved here from the east and promised that they would be able to possess this land as long as the grass grew and the rivers ran.
Jeb, the first sculpture placed on the Capitol lawn was the Range Rider sculpture, created by Constance Whitney Warren.
Well, perhaps the spirit of Oklahoma has something to do with our Oklahoma sense of humor.